Size of this frigging thing. Big, isn't it? It's fantastic because people park in front of this giant hand, this Spider-Man's hand, position the car so it's underneath this thing there, and you get the camera over there and it looks like Spider-Man sort of playing with their car, which is really, really cool. If you know where that is, you'll know that I'm in Birmingham, just on the edge of the custard factory. I'm coming to do some street photography in the city centre. I've got an interview to do tomorrow morning. Well, it was actually supposed to be next week, but coincidentally my mate is here doing some filming, or just finished filming this morning, so I thought if I move my interview to tomorrow, I can do this in Birmingham, and then because don't forget now, this is my job now. Street photography is my job, YouTube is my job, so just, you know, bear that in mind. That is cool. That is cool. Wide angle shot, actually. Get that square background perfectly square. That might work. So we read yesterday that there are 15,000 discs on that big boy, and they're putting that temporary structure up there just literally just to clean them. And I think it looks really, really kind of funky. It's a shame it's going to come down again, because I think I prefer the, the sort of funky colours of the pink compared to that very, very strange looking disky thing.
That's all cancelled. This is owned by property owned by them.
So I can't take a picture of your ball? Let me take a picture of your ball.
Unfortunately, fine. Obviously, they picked you on camera. That's why I'm approaching now. So that's why it's not allowed, because obviously it's private land.
It's weird because you're allowed to do it with mobile phones and stuff, because people do it all the time.
Oh no. But even with that, when that comes up, we obviously.
So if I take a picture of my mobile phone, is it okay?
Yeah. Everything's on the policy, bro. So obviously we're here now. So obviously they picked you up on camera and stuff.
It's every time I'm with Gary Gough, it's your fault. Every time I'm with you, security attack us. Every time, it's his fault. I'm going to give myself a bit of a challenge. I'm just going to leave. I normally shoot at f8, use the phrase f8 and be there, so I want depth of field. I want to fast shutter, freeze the motion, get as much depth of field as possible. So I've decided to give myself a bit of a challenge and shoot at f2. Now I only ever shoot at f2 on this lens on weddings and events, and I love it. So I'm going to set the camera up to shoot at f2 and see if I can get shallow depth of field and just isolate subjects. I think I like this lens as well because of what's going on at the minute. It means that you haven't got a 75mm field of view full frame, so it means I haven't got to get close to anything, and I can stand back away from people. It's not obvious, it's not intimidating. A lot of people are probably wondering why cameras are being pointed at them at the minute, so I think a 75mm field of view, I doubt very much it's going to happen. But I'm in love with the potential shot here. There's a really strong line going up the middle of this road where the tram's coming out. Well, it literally has people are crossing over. Again, similar to the shot down there where you've got the load of white in the background to make silhouettes of people walking across here. I can imagine there's a great photo opportunity with the right light. If you came down at sunrise or sunset when the sun's in the right place, I can imagine if the sun sets over there, I have no idea where it sets or rises, but if it does come low in that gap there, the silhouettes and shadows you would get coming through here would be unbelievable. So I'm gonna lost Gary again. I'm gonna walk up. I was thinking low down, get the camera low down, using this line. I think there'd be a fantastic shot there. Right, I'm going for it. I've changed my aperture to f4 to get a bit of depth of field. I'm not on manual focus because I can't manual focus with holding the Osmo as well, but got the camera low down. I'm just going to keep an eye on this line. All I've got to do is drop the camera down and wait for somebody to come into that gap. Looks good on the back of the screen. Probably can't see it. It's a difficult shot to get there. Pre-focus. Using the tram line. I think it's really, really good. The tram line, just wait for people to. This is a common crossing port, so to get somebody walking over that tram line, really, really good. Make sure that line is perfect as well. Give it a go. Wait a couple of minutes. pleased with that image. I think it come out really, really well. Got quite a few. The difficulty was because that lens doesn't give me much depth of field, so I was pre-focused f4, hoping that that was going to give me enough thousandth of a second on a high burst. So I got the choice. So as people were walking across, I could choose which one's got the best sort of leg position, if you will. But yeah, I've lost Gary now, so I'm going to wander around and see if we can find him. That's ridiculous. The size of the thing. It looks heavy. This chap looks brilliant. And he seen what I was doing, so I went over and spoke to him. And yeah, it's not so good now. But I'm at f2 and just using this tree as negative space in the foreground, just get close to it. But I like the character. It's just a case of balancing it with the tree. But I don't think f2 on this lens has given me quite the foreground blur that I'd like, so that's quite cool with his hand in his pocket there. But yeah, him on the top right and third, looking cool in his suit. There we are. Cheers buddy, have a good day.
No worries.
But mine, if you're buying mine, they were yeah. Spotted a boot with the camera screen flipped round, or not a flippy screen fan at all. Right, I spotted a boot just to the side of this wall. If I can get to the boot. I don't think I've ever photographed someone's foot like that before. That did feel a bit random, that one. I was at f2 still. I think it worked quite well. There was something going on in the background, but that blurred because I was quite close to the subject. So yeah, that might work quite well. Really nice interest in the boot and a lot of sort of colour in the boards to the rise of it. So yeah, might be a good shot. I just took a picture of someone's foot. That might be the highlight of my day. So I wouldn't know if I'd call it street photography, but I love looking for details in this sort of scene, because you see so many cool colours and shapes and lines and whatnot. There's so many interesting things you can photograph. It's just whoa, bit of local knowledge there. Guy says that in the evenings this all lights up absolutely fantastic when it all goes nice and flat and you've got the sun setting over there and the lights come through the water. It's supposed to look absolutely amazing. So sunsets tonight around about, I think it's about 6:30, I'm not sure. So I'll see how long we'll stay till, and if I can come back in. If we do get, because the sky's looking quite epic at the minute, it's really, really patchy clouds, sort of 50-50 clouds. So if it does get a nice sky tonight, I'll definitely come back. But look at this reflection here. That's fantastic. Definitely worth scouting out. I love it. You are allowed to walk on this water as well. So
pretend I'm working, yeah?
yeah, pretend. That's awesome, man. Much appreciated. Have a good day, man. Good to see you.
I was working hard.
What's that? Yeah. Flat out, man. Flat out. This is really cool here because we've got two angles. I've got a corner there which reflects with the floor. Looks really, really cool. So that guy reflecting there, that looks really, really cool. And if I use a darker subject like here, I get some really, really cool reflections of the orange and stuff in the background. So impossible to film this thing because I've got to get the camera right close. But yeah, just gonna wait for somebody to come really, really close. And it has to be an interesting subject, otherwise it's just another reflection shot. So yeah, wait for an interesting character. Hopefully I'll get a decent shot of him. I love this building. I was here before. It's really, really cool, the reflection. So it's good with the 70mm lens, 70mm equivalent field of view. Get some really nice abstract shots out of that reflection. So trying to ignore everything that's going on in the actual real world, if you will, but just concentrate on trying to get some abstract shots, picking out details there. I think would be nice. trick is to find something that's interesting, find nice tones, nice reflections, and obviously get the human element like it is with them two guys. Looking up there, that's quite cool. Yeah. Oh, there's 4 people there, look at that. Let's say, fair, the friggin' sod's gonna take a picture of me. I'm not leaving. So Mr. Gough, is it just a coincidence that you came out of the mailbox as the security guard appeared? Because that'll be like the 15th time in a day we've been...
I am a security guard magnet.
You are?
I am. There's no question.
And you're proud of it?
Absolutely.
It just sucks for anybody else who happens to be with you. Did you spot it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see the missing shot? I was so annoyed. I put the video together and it was blinking obvious. It was so glaringly obvious. I can't believe I didn't spot it. Let me know in the comments if you found the shot. I'll give you a clue. It was around about the tram area. So yeah, put the timestamp in the comments. It'd be good to see how many of you spotted that shot. I have no excuse. I'm really gutted. So yeah, issue 5, F8 issue 5 has just arrived. So this is my street photography magazine. If you're into street photography or if you're new to street photography, this is a really good resource. It's basically, it's about 32 pages of your images. Basically, if you use the hashtags below, you can feature your work in this. We've got Phil Penman from New York in this magazine, so I'm really super pleased to have him in the magazine. He's somebody I've always admired his work. Fantastic photographer. So some really cool images and the backstories behind the images. Also, we've got the other featured photographer in this magazine is Stephen Churcher. So Stephen Churcher is a British photographer, but very varied style of street photography. So his work is really cool because he does such a different array of images. So yeah, really pleased to have him as well. So that's the second interview, and then there's about 25-30 featured photographers in there as well. So do check out F8 magazine. I'll leave a link in the description below if you haven't already seen it. So yeah, really super pleased with that. Right then, how did we get on with the images? Now I actually really like them, and shooting F2, the biggest problem I had was because I'm filming and I've only got one hand, so I had to put the camera in like aperture priority mode, and I hate aperture priority modes because I hate having to let the camera do the thinking. I would much rather be in full manual and adjust the settings myself. So yeah, I was using that compensation dial, but that dial I absolutely flipping hate. So yeah, my minimum shutter speed set to 500, and I was letting the camera do the ISO. But of course, if there's a white background, you've got to do compensation and all that sort of malarkey. So yeah, bit of a messy one for me, especially because I was filming. But I really enjoyed using some foreground blur and stuff like that. So yeah, really pleased with it. Definitely going to be using that lens more often. Now this first image, I didn't actually think I was going to like it at all, but I love the scene. I thought it was really cool, but I didn't expect to like the image as much as I do. I think it literally jumps off the page and they look really eerie. They look really cool. So I'm really pleased with that photograph, very zombie-like, and there's next to no editing on them photographs as well. Now these 4 images here, I really like them. Now, not so much the first one, but I took quite a few, and the biggest problem I had was getting the foreground completely perfect with them leading lines going in. The other problem I had, it was because I was at f4, obviously I had to stop down a little bit because I was on autofocus. Well, I wasn't on autofocus, I was zone focusing, but zone focusing on such a small depth of field is just asking for trouble. So I went to f4 and zone focused over there, and it slightly missed. So really quite gutted that the background is more in focus than the subjects are. But yeah, really pleased. Very difficult to film, obviously, and photograph at the same time. Now, this guy was really cool. But I just don't think they've got enough foreground blur, bokeh, if you will, in the foreground there. I just don't think it works quite well. But I really do like that contrasty area coming in there. I love the guy. I think he's a really interesting character. So that's what's important with street photography, isn't it? It's all about getting interesting people as your subjects. It's not just about having good light, good contrast, you know, fancy cameras and all that sort of thing. You've got to have good, interesting subjects. So I do like him. Love what he's wearing, and got a few shots I really like. The guy with the mobile phone, I love. I don't know why. I just think that door in the background is like he's phoning someone who's not in. I'm really pleased with that image. It's just very different for me. It's not my normal photograph. It wasn't my normal approach to a photograph. I never run up behind someone and just take a picture of someone on the mobile phone. That's a new one for me. So yeah, I think that image has come out really, really well. Looks like he's phoning the office or phoning for an appointment or something, I don't know. The boot, again, another image that's really random, and I really like it. I don't know why, it's just so different, and I love that curve going up to the boot. Very, very nice detail. I wish I'd got a bit more colour in the top right hand of the image, but yeah, really, really like it. A foot, who photographs a foot? So yeah, very different. That worker, he was awesome, really, really liked him. Really, really nice guy, quite chatty, and I had a bit of a laugh at him. So I think with what everybody's been through, it's really, really good to sort of engage and get people's spirits up, and everybody, we need human interaction again. We're just missing it. I am anyway, absolutely crazy. Now this location here is another location that, like the ones in Birmingham, I'd love to spend a bit of time waiting for the right subject. If you got the right subject coming through there, especially this one here, it would have been really, really cool. Quite like the girl with the dogs, but I think a better subject, better on the rain with an umbrella going through, that sort of thing, would have been really cool. Same with this area up here. I think you've definitely got to spend half an hour working that location, getting the best from these locations. So yeah, good, interesting character there with him. Really, really liked it. Otherwise, that would have been just a normal person walking past a reflection, wouldn't it? I love the idea. Not so much that image, but I love the idea of abstracting street photography. Hopefully, in future issues of the magazine, we're going to have some really, really good abstract photographers. I'm keeping my. If you know any good abstract street photographers, let me know in the comments, because I'm desperate to sort of research abstract street photography, because I think it's something that I really want to get a long-term project out of. And then lastly, the lady going up the escalator, which I love because I managed to get the lines going from top to bottom, diagonal, perfect. Absolute, well, fluke really, because I was coming down an escalator and I wasn't even looking through the EVF. So yeah. Anyway, I wanted to keep this video short, so I hope you like the photographs, hope you like the video, and let me know how you think we did with the f2 lens. And I'll see you again in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, and take care.